When someone moves to a new neighborhood, they usually expect two things: a quiet life, a friendly wave from the neighbors. What I got instead was a pie filled with spite. And it didn't come with a welcome. It came with a warning. I moved into Willow Acres in early spring. Quiet, woodsy, tight lawns, tighter gossip. I'd finally saved enough to stop renting and buy my first house. A modest one-story with a fenced yard and enough space for my dog, Toby, to run without scaring the mailman. Within hours of unloading the truck, I met Karen. She appeared like a scene from scripted sitcom. Straight blonde bob, bright pink windbreaker, and a smile so wide it looked like she rehearsed it in the mirror. "Welcome to the neighborhood," she chirped. "We'd like to know who's moving in." It wasn't a question. I told her my name, my job, IT contractor, and that I was just excited to finally own something I could take care of. She looked past me at the moving van. "You don't have kids?" "Nope. HM. Just you and just me and the dog." Her smile faltered just a flicker. "Well, we have standards here. Quiet pet no. I'm the neighborhood coordinator. It's informal but respected." I nodded politely. Mistake number one. That night, a laminated sheet was taped to my door. "Welcome to Willow Acres." Underneath were pages of guidelines, lawn height, trash placement, even approved shades of outdoor decor. No signature, but I knew who it came from. Still, I brushed it off. I wasn't part of the HOA. My house, along with two others on the far end, had opted out years ago. Karen couldn't enforce anything, but she could meddle, and she did. The first week, she rang my bell twice. Once to ask if I planned to pressure wash the driveway soon. The second time to suggest Toby's bark was a little aggressive for this community. Toby is a 12-year-old mutt with 3 teeth and arthritis in one leg. His bark sounds like a vacuum cleaner choking on a sock. I kept smiling, kept nodding. Mistake number 2. Then came the pie. One afternoon, after a long install at a client site, I came home to a covered dish on my doorstep. Apple pie, cinnamon heavy, neatly latticed. A note attached. "Welcome. Let's start fresh." Karen. I raised an eyebrow but thought, maybe she's realizing I'm not so bad. I didn't eat it. Something felt off. Instead, I set it aside and took Toby for a walk. When I came back, the pie was gone. Vanished. I checked the security camera above the porch. Around 6:03 p.m., Karen reappears. She looks around, then snatches the pie and speed walks back to her house like she's pulling off a jewel heist. What the hell? I was tired. I didn't confront her. But the next day, I checked my mailbox. Inside was another note, this one less sweet. "Thought you were the kind of neighbor who appreciated generosity." Guess I was wrong. No signature again, but it was typed in the same cursive font as the HOA flyers. That's when I decided I'd had enough of being quiet. I printed the footage. One still frame. Karen holding the pie like a criminal caught mid-theft. I posted it to the neighborhood Facebook group with the caption, "To the neighbor who brought a pie, then stole it back. Thanks for the warm welcome." Within an hour, the post blew up. Comments ranged from, "Green circle. OMG, this is the most Karen thing ever. Yellow circle. You should have called the cops, LOL. Red circle, wait, she did that to us too. Same pie. Same guilt trip." Turns out I wasn't the first. One neighbor claimed they did eat the pie, only to get food poisoning hours later. Another swore they found a passive-aggressive note inside theirs, beneath the crust, written on wax paper. It wasn't a gift. It was a test. The next day, Karen rang my bell. She didn't smile this time. "You're making a scene." I calmly said, "I just posted the truth. You're ruining my name in this community." I tilted my head. "You walked onto my porch twice and took back a pie. I think the footage ruined your name." I just gave it subtitles. Her eyes narrowed. "This neighborhood has rules." I smiled. "I'm not under your HOA." Then closed the door. But Karen didn't back down. 2 days later, I got a visit from a man in khakis and a polo with Willow Acres Volunteer Council stitched on the chest. He looked 22 and terrified. "Hi. Karen asked me to do a wellness check." "On me?" I asked. "On your dog." Toby barked once, then peed on the guy's shoe. He left in a hurry. That weekend, I hosted a non-HOA pizza night in my backyard. invited the two other non-HOA houses and anyone else tired of Karen's crusades. 12 people showed up. Someone brought homemade margaritas. Someone else brought an entire projector setup, and we watched Shrek on my back fence. For the first time since moving in, I felt home. Karen? She stood at the edge of her lawn, arms crossed, watching from the shadows like a sitcom villain who just got written out of the script. By fall, the HOA had a new coordinator. Karen's name stopped appearing on flyers. I still get weird glances from her, but she hasn't spoken to me since. Toby's bark still sounds like a dying blender. But now, the neighborhood claps back for him, and no one's left another pie on my porch, which, honestly, is the sweetest gift of all.